WrestleMania 42 is rapidly approaching, with the event scheduled for April the 18th and 19th, 2026, at Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada, just outside Las Vegas. This marks the third time WrestleMania has taken place in the Las Vegas area, following WrestleMania 9 in 1993 and the highly successful WrestleMania 41 the previous year. The two-night spectacle promises to deliver massive moments, but as we sit roughly 2 months out, recent reports indicate that much of the card remains fluid and subject to last-minute adjustments. This period is typically when WWE locks in major matches to allow for proper storytelling and build-up on Raw and SmackDown, yet several key elements appear unsettled, raising concerns among fans about whether the company can deliver the compelling narratives that WrestleMania demands. The road to WrestleMania is always intense, but with only weeks remaining until the Elimination Chamber event in late February and then the final stretch, time is of the essence. If major matches aren't confirmed soon, the build-up could feel rushed or incomplete, potentially impacting fan investment. Reports from reliable sources like the Wrestling Observer newsletter suggest that while one high-profile bout has been solidified, the rest of the card is still being re-evaluated, partly due to shifting creative directions, ticket sales considerations, and even injuries affecting planned programs. This uncertainty is a bit alarming because WrestleMania thrives on long-term feuds that pay off in spectacular fashion, and delays in finalizing matches can hinder that process. One of the most significant shifts in plans came with the WWE Championship picture. Earlier internal ideas had Cody Rhodes set to face Roman Reigns in a third installment of the epic rivalry for the title at WrestleMania 42. That matchup had been locked in months ago and carried huge blockbuster potential given their history, including dramatic encounters in previous years. However, WWE pivoted at the last moment, swapping things around to position CM Punk against Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship instead. This change has been widely viewed as a refreshing move by many fans. While Cody versus Roman would always draw massive interest, the feud had been revisited multiple times recently, leading to some audience fatigue. Bringing in CM Punk, with his storied history and intense persona, against the dominant force of Roman Reigns feels like a fresh dynamic that could headline one of the nights effectively. Reports indicate this bout is now expected to serve as a main event, possibly for Night 2, and it stands as the only fully confirmed match on the card so far. This adjustment had ripple effect across other planned segments. Initially, Braun Breaker was reportedly penciled in as a winner of the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. In that scenario, he would have earned the right to challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 42, setting up a program designed to elevate Breaker as a top-tier star. The young powerhouse has shown tremendous potential with his athleticism and intensity, and a Rumble victory followed by a title shot would have been a major step in his push. However, when WWE altered the main event picture by moving Roman Reigns into the World Heavyweight title match against Punk, it disrupted those plans for Breaker. Instead of a championship opportunity, he is now rumored to be heading toward a non-title singles match against Seth Rollins. That pairing could still deliver high-energy action, given both men's styles, Breaker's raw power versus Rollins' technical prowess and high-flying ability, but it represents a significant downgrade from a world title bout. These kinds of cascading changes highlight how interconnected WWE's booking can be. One major swap can alter multiple trajectories. Adding to the uncertainty, some reports point to broader re-evaluations of the entire WrestleMania 42 lineup. Factors like declining ticket sales in certain areas, internal creative debates, and injuries have contributed to frustration behind the scenes. For instance, injuries to key players have forced pivots in other potential matches, further complicating puzzle. Despite these hurdles, WWE has been actively teasing certain directions that seem more concrete, giving fans something tangible to latch onto amid the flux. One matchup that stands out as heavily teased and likely locked in is a triple threat for the WWE Championship, involving Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu. This appears to be the first major WrestleMania bout WWE has been building toward with consistency. The seeds for this feud trace back to the 3 stages of Hell match on January 9, 2026, where tensions boiled over. Since then, WWE has planted hints week after week, reinforcing the idea of these three colliding. On the February 6 edition of SmackDown, for example, Drew McIntyre attempted a promo only to be ambushed first by Cody Rhodes and then by Jacob Fatu when he tried to speak again. These attacks weren't random. They were deliberate teasers for a multi-man confrontation. The build-up has been quiet but steady, with repeated hints across programming that a triple threat is the endgame. While the match hasn't been officially announced yet, the pattern suggests it's only a matter of time. The question now is how WWE will structure the path to make it official. Cody Rhodes could secure his spot by winning the upcoming Elimination Chamber match, which would give him a clear claim as number one contender. That leaves Jacob Fatu, the unpredictable Samoan werewolf, whose inclusion would need creative justification, perhaps through interference, a separate qualifying angle, or a dramatic twist where he forces his way in. Fatu's involvement had a wild card element, as his brute strength and family ties to the bloodline legacy could create compelling chaos in a triple threat environment. McIntyre, as a reigning champion, would defend against both challenges in what could be a brutal, high-stakes affair. Fans are eager to see how this unfolds, especially since the teasers have been consistent since early January. Shifting focus to another key storyline, Sami Zayn's ongoing pursuit of the WWE Championship hit another roadblock recently. Zayn reportedly made a strong backstage push ahead of the Royal Rumble event in Saudi Arabia, advocating for himself to dethrone Drew McIntyre and capture his first world title. He highlighted his undefeated streak in Saudi Arabia and how a victory that could serve as the perfect crowning moment for his character. Despite the logic behind his pitch, leveraging his popularity in that market and giving him a feel-good win, the idea was ultimately rejected by WWE Creative. Instead, the match at Royal Rumble turned into a one-sided affair, with McIntyre dominating from start to finish in decisive beatdown. There was little back and forth. It felt more like a showcase of McIntyre's superiority than competitive title defense. This booking left some fans disappointed, as it didn't position Zayn as a credible threat close to achieving his dream. Rather than building sympathy or momentum for his chase, the lopsided loss made it seem like he didn't belong in the same ring as a champion. Zayn's journey toward the WWE title has been a long one, marked by peaks of popularity in 2022 and 2023, when he was one of the most beloved figures on the roster. Many expected WWE to pull the trigger then, perhaps at WrestleMania or a major premium live event, but it never happened. Now, as time passes and opportunities slip away, fans are beginning to question whether Sami will ever reach that pinnacle. His underdog story resonates deeply, but repeated setbacks raise doubts about WWE's long-term commitment to crowning him champion. Still, his resilience suggests the chase isn't over, and future opportunities could arise, perhaps even tying into the WrestleMania build-up if circumstances shift. On a different note, Saraya, formerly known as Paige in WWE, has been opening up about her desire to return to the company and the barriers standing in her way. Last year, in 2025, she took time off to rest, reset, and step away from the wrestling world after a challenging period. She committed to returning to in-ring action after that break, and true to her word, she began posting training videos in January 2026. These clips of her running the ropes and working out went viral, generating huge excitement and support from fans. Saraya admitted in a recent interview that the outpouring of love moved her emotionally, especially given past controversies in her career. She was surprised and grateful to see that support remained strong. Fans heavily rumored her for a surprise entry in the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble, but it didn't materialize. Saraya addressed the disappointment directly, saying she saw the reactions and that competing in the Rumble is a dream of hers. However, she emphasized that the decision isn't entirely up to her. WWE would need to reach out and make the offer. Her comments suggest she's physically and mentally ready, having trained hard to regain her form and even surpass her previous level from NXT and her main roster run. At 34 years old in 2026, she feels confident in her abilities despite the neck injury that originally forced her retirement years ago. Her last major WWE appearance was a satellite spot during the early pandemic-era shows in 2020, followed by a quiet release, which left her career feeling unfinished. A return would be poetic, allowing her to face new generations of stars in the women's division, and potentially write the abrupt end to her in-ring tenure. The Paige character was groundbreaking in her era, and seeing her back could create fresh matchups and nostalgic moments. While nothing is confirmed, her recent activity and candid interviews keep the possibility alive, with many hoping WWE makes the call soon. Overall, these developments paint a picture of a WrestleMania season full of intrigue, changes, and anticipation. The fluidity of the card keeps things exciting but also unpredictable, while individual stories like the T's triple threat, Sammy's persistent chase, and Soraya's potential comeback add layers of drama. As the weeks progress toward Las Vegas, fans will be watching closely for official announcements and further teases. What do you think about these shifts and possibilities? The road to WrestleMania is heating up, and there's plenty more to come.